Alright guys, so I'm just continuing on the video from how to shift gear and how to move forward, right? Now, I didn't tell you really how to shift gear, I was just telling you so that the bike would actually move forward. Yeah, so you know how to move it now, right? All it is, a little bit of throttle, but at the same time you want to have the clutch completely held in until you feel like, just like this, right? Look, that's all you do, like that. You just let it out and then it'll start moving away, right? Now you don't want to do this, you don't want to throttle and just go, because the bike will either stall or it'll jolt, you know? You don't want either of them. Especially on a busy road, because then, pardon my language, but you're fucked. Okay, so I want to talk to you about brakes now. Now that you know how to move it a little bit, you need to know how to stop it. Okay, so this is the front brake here, right? Yep, front brake. Now, it's not like a car, right? It's a lot more sensitive than that. You can't just go and squeeze it in like that, because you'll do a stoppie, basically. Right, now a stoppie, if you don't know, is where the rear wheel leaves the ground, and if you do it hard enough, you'll probably hit the floor with your face. So that's not a very good start. So if you need to brake sharply, you just squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in, fully closed. Right? Like that. Okay. So, unlike a car, a bike has two brakes. Right? Now, the other brake, I'm not sure if you can see, yeah, there you go. So I told you about the this one here is just the foot rest, that's all. So you just put your foot like this, that's it. Now the other little one there is actually the rear brake. Now you can just apply that, very easy, very easy. And now the only thing is, right, the rear brake, now this will probably confuse you, the rear brake is not a brake. Don't think of it as a brake, just think of it as more, when you travel in at slow speeds, it's an easier way to stop than put your foot on the ground. That's basically it. Don't try and use it by itself, because it won't work. And you know, the only time it's ever going to work is when you're traveling slow, you know, 15 mile an hour, stuff like that. You know, or you're just going through traffic and you know, you just need to stop, then just use it. But don't ever use it by itself unless you're doing that. You should always try and use them together, but not at the same time. You should usually apply the front brake and then apply the back brake. Both together, but just the front brake first. Because if you apply the back brake first and it's a wet day, or if you're coming around a corner, well, I'll explain that in a minute, but yeah, you know, the back tyre will lock and you could skid. But I'm not trying to scare you, it's just safety stuff, you know, shit happens, stuff like that, you know. Okay. Another huge thing, never brake when you're going around a corner. Never. If it's going to save your life, do it. If you're going 120 mile an hour and you didn't realise there was a corner there, you probably should have anticipated it, but if you think it's going to save your life, then brake. But any other time it will throw you off around the corner. If you're going 50 miles an hour around a corner and you think, oh no, I've taken it a little bit too quick, should have gone at 35, 40, and you put the rear brake on, the back end's going to flip out and you know, it's just going to bottom out. If you put the front brake on, then the bike will stand up and try and throw you off, right? So you don't want to do that around a corner. So it's always, you know, just anticipate things. So when you come up, when you see a corner, prepare for it before the corner. Don't act during it. Now, these videos, I'm going to go into more advanced stuff as I go, right? So I'm just going to build you guys up. I'm going to say, right, so that's how to move the bike and just stuff like that, really. And then I'll talk to you about counter steering. I'll talk to you about counter steering, and I'll talk to you about acceleration, and better shifting gears, and just stuff like that. If you have a question about anything to do with how to ride the bikes or anything like that, just ask. Again, I'm doing this for novice riders, obviously, or riders who aren't riders yet. Doing it for people like that. So anyone who needs that help, just come through the videos, have a look at them, and see what you can learn. Alright, so I'm going to end this video now, because really I've just told you about the rear brake, the front brake, and I can't really think of anything you need to know before you start riding the bike, other than when you shift the gear, just make sure you're in a suitable gear for just make sure you're in a suitable gear for whatever speed you're going. You'll be able to tell by the engine's noise and the rev meter. It'll be on the bike somewhere. It should do. Not all bikes have it, but it's rare if it doesn't. You should never hit in the red zone. The only way a rev meter works is by accelerating. So the more you accelerate, the more revs you hit, and that's what gets you going. You don't really, whilst you're learning, don't go, don't max it out. Don't scream the engine till she's like, squealing. Just stay at a steady 6,000 whilst you're learning. That's a pretty good mark. That's a steady cruise. Once you know what counter steering is, once you know how your balance and how your position affects the bike, then you can start going more. But don't risk it until you know that. Alright guys, peace.